quite a few hours. And we're just taking a step outside to go for a little bit of a walk. And nothing too exciting. I don't have too much to say in general, but I can certainly say that this is it. This is it. This is a happy moment. This is it. This is a wonderful moment. This is it. I have arrived at this moment, and the only moment is now. Another thing I can say, breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are blue skies and water, there are birds, sunshine and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. I can also say that this is a little bit of a teaching on realizing not understanding, realizing not knowing, realizing boxlessness. And that's not to say like I'm egoless or something, or like I don't have an ego, but that there's this dimension of reality, there's this dimension that perceptivity relies upon, and I think curiosity relies upon as well, that's really based in not knowing, not understanding, not being in control of everything, not having everything systematized and put into a box of our thoughts. And so when you realize that, when you realize the lacking of thoughts, the world and what you see and what you hear and what you experience is kind of unknown. Whether it's Charlie Kirk or Barack Obama or Saddam Hussein, whoever it is, you know, we don't really know these people. We never lived with these people. We spent very little time having any kind of connection with them at all. And we kind of lose our capacity to look deeply when we're so much caught up in the constant belief of various thoughts. You know, and so this is like a teaching, this is like an invitation about not being so foolhardy about how we attach to all these different thoughts that appear. That yes, thoughts happen, but our belief in those thoughts is kind of up for discussion. We don't have to believe in thoughts just because thoughts happen. And that's maybe something we should even teach in schools or know how to teach ourselves. Because there's so much anger, there's so much frustration, there's so much greed inside of us, especially as American people. We're always looking for an excuse to put that anger out there. We're always looking for an excuse to express our greediness. We're always looking for an excuse to arbitrarily and randomly believe in thoughts that arise in the mind. And we're saying the same things as other people. We don't really have any unique identity for ourselves. We're just compulsively acting and reacting like a cog in the machine, like a real stupid idiot. And I think I'm a real stupid idiot in many ways. Less so than I've been in the past, but still, there is that stupidity in me. I can see that I'm not a perfect being. I can see that there's not so much of a need for me to justify my aggression. You know what I mean? Like, I can see that I feel anger and not act out on that anger. I can see that these thoughts are coming up in the mind, but I don't have to believe in those thoughts. I don't have to hold on to those thoughts. Actually, I can see that a lot of my thoughts are just nonsense. And I'd be a lot happier and a lot more peaceful. And I'd live a much better life if I knew and understood how to not think. Too. Look at these coconuts here. We get so caught up in our negative, weird, toxic, stupid egos. I mean, it's so disgusting. And then we can't appreciate anything. We can't appreciate anyone. We can't listen deeply or look deeply at anything. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame for the people that we have to be around and for our society. I'd say that the problem in America isn't Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk being assassinated. The problem in America is how greedy we are and how angry we are and how prone to believing in random thoughts we are. You know what I mean? It's like somebody might come across this live stream and then they have thoughts about me and then they immediately begin to believe in those thoughts about me that aren't based in anything substantial, not even based in anything practical or realistic. And we get into these stupid ways of thinking and stupid ways of dreaming, like, oh, I'd love to see you wear that outfit somewhere like this or that. It doesn't matter. You don't need to, but what I like to do is I like to see the seeing itself. I like to hear the hearing itself. I like to experience the experiencing itself and not just be totally lost in my ego, not just to be totally lost in thoughts. This doesn't have anything to do with being gay. It's your mind that has something to do with being gay. And then you put the blame of what your mind has to do with or what your mind thinks about onto another human being. And that's just not a good idea. Not a good idea for sure. Another thing I can say that I can share freely, I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. And what's so wrong with that? You know what I mean? What's so wrong with arriving at home in the here and in the now? What's so stupid about that? What's so stupid at actually arriving where I am? Becoming aware of awareness or becoming aware at least of where I really am right now so that I can begin to appreciate what's inside in me and also appreciate what's outside of me instead of just this nonstop bullshit ego talk. And we know how much of a bullshitter we are because we know how much we suffer inside. We know how greedy we are inside. We know how angry we are inside. We know how much we wish to not have to deal with all those thoughts that we can't just shut up, we can't turn off. We know about that for ourselves. And so we can't trick anybody about that. You know that you're suffering. You know that you're dealing with problems in your life. And the problems in your life aren't only your body and your mind, but your community, your surroundings. Oh, come on. Thank you so much. Oh, no, no, you keep it. You keep it. Thank you. Ah, I tell you what, it's a real work. It's a real practice to not get like frustrated with how much people BS, how inauthentic people are, how disingenuous people are. It's really, really difficult. And then we keep pretending and pretending and pretending. And it's like, can't you just cut that shit out? But that's the thing, people can't cut that shit out. People don't know how to stop thinking, which means that they don't know how to be aware without biases, without the tyranny of their compulsive thinking weighing down on them and, making them be these kind of cranky, nasty, stupid people, disingenuous people. That you can see your thought, or you can hear your thought, or you can experience your thought, and you can recognize that that thought is just an idea, it's just a thought. Why would a thought that happens be like somehow magically like true or ultimate? It's just a thought. It's just a thought that, quote unquote, you happen to be having for a variety of unknown reasons. You don't know everything about your life. You don't know everything about the people that you've interacted with. You don't know everything about your past. You certainly don't know what's going to happen in a few moments. So, why are you so fixated and attached in this idea of you knowing? I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But you don't know. Mostly, you don't know. Most things, most people, most places, most situations, you don't know about them. And so we've got into this life of like role playing ourselves, like role playing a human being. And what I say, stop role playing being a human being and really be a human being. And I think that just comes down to two things: listening deeply and sharing deeply. And it's absolutely such a shame how people's anger, look at your life and look at how angry you are. Look at how often you are dealing with anger and frustration. Yeah, you justify it. You try to justify that anger. You try to say it's right for me to be angry, but you know that that anger is a poison. It's like, do you want to teach anger to your children? Do you want to teach greed to your children? Do you want to teach your children to be like you, where you don't know how to stop thinking and you're just constantly waiting to be manipulated and convinced of something by someone? I mean, what kind of mind is that? What kind of mind is that when you literally just read something or hear something and then you believe it? It doesn't even have anything to do with your life. And it doesn't have anything to do with your direct experiences. And there's nothing that you can even do with that to benefit your life or to help others in your life. But somehow we're addicted to believing. We're addicted to thinking. We're addicted to becoming someone who thinks, becoming someone who's angry, becoming someone who's right, standing over someone who's wrong. I don't buy it. And that's why people scurry away. That's why the best thing that people can say is, "Oh, that's a gay shirt." Ha 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 ha. And then they scamper and they run away because they're punks, they're pansies. America now is full of punks and pansies that the moment that they get offended, they freak out and they run away. And it's not just liberals and leftists, it's also Republicans and conservatives. They just run away in a different way. So don't be like that. Don't be like someone who runs away from listening deeply and sharing deeply. I mean, I think that's the main message here. And this idea that everybody's trying to manipulate you, everybody's trying to scam you, everybody's trying to convince you of something, or that everybody is basically the same person. I just don't know where you learned that. I don't know where that idea came from. You're interested in people. You're interested in connection. You know what I mean? That's why you're watching YouTube. YouTube and TikTok and these live streams are full of people. So it's like you have to be like real enough and sincere enough to accept in yourself that you're looking for connection. You're looking for an opportunity to hear something deep and to share something deep, to get it out. But we're so lost in the sauce of our arrogance and our pride and our ego that all we want to do is consume, eat, sleep, shit, piss, sex. That's all. And this isn't about that. Like I said, this is like a teaching on listening deeply and sharing deeply. And I love the live aspect because there's a part of yourself that can't disassociate from that. You're not scrolling from a video that you just happen to be watching of some random person who's trying to sell you something or convince you of something. This is live. This is in your face. This is happening now. And there's a part of you that recognizes that, whether you like it or not, that this is happening right here and right now, that this is live, that this is not pre-recorded. It's unbelievable how disassociated people are and how empty people's heads are in this way of dullness. And everybody comes in and they want to beat their chest. Oh, you're a stupid guy. Oh, you're this way. Oh, oh, Charlie Kirk. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But they're not willing to talk about anything when it's not just based in their ego. They're not willing to talk about anything when it's not based on them just thinking about more things in a impractical and compulsive way. Like I said, this is a teaching on not thinking. This is a teaching, a science on bringing thoughts down to zero. And what a wonder that is. What a joy is that is. Are your thoughts really that valuable? I would say, I don't know what the percentages are, but I'd say at least 80% of the people in America would probably really love to not have to deal with the thoughts that they're having. This is not about you. This is not about your ego. And this isn't something that kind of like necessarily belongs to you. You don't necessarily understand this. Like it's very likely that you don't know about this and you don't know about what's being shared here because this is concerned with not thinking. This is concerned with not knowing. So, how much do you know about not knowing? How much have you thought about not thinking? Probably basically nothing. And we focus on all these identity politics, and it's all just bullshit. It's all just bullshit to keep people distracted, to keep people dissociated, to keep people arguing with nobody, to keep people connecting with nobody. Because as Americans, we don't spend time in community. The only time we're in community is if we're going to the bar to get drunk or if we have to go to work to make money. It's not like we're going out there and spending time in community and dealing with gay people and stuff. We're mostly just dealing with ourselves and we like it that way. But you're never going to be able to know yourself very deeply if the only way that you know how to know yourself is through nonstop thinking. Go ahead, Dylan. And for me, for introducing myself, I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. That's how I learned about all this stuff. That's how I started to learn about all this kind of stuff, was by being a monk, being a meditator, being someone who was suffering so much that I knew I had to find a way to end suffering somehow, some way. That's what I was concerned with, at least, ending suffering. That's still what I'm concerned with. I'm still concerned with ending suffering. Don't fake it. I don't care what you do here, but don't fake it. You're going to be. Oh, well, I said a short walk and I meant it. And I don't really understand the how the YouTube algorithm works fully. I don't really understand what it's doing. Oh, Dr. Rob is skillful at making mistakes. I'm skillful at making mistakes. That's maybe my claim to fame. Alex, I don't even know what that means. Stop trying to meditate and go for a walk and breathe. Stop trying to meditate. 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 Tammy, please leave. Stop trying to meditate. Yeah, we try to justify our thoughts all the time. But this doesn't have anything to do with justifying thoughts. American people are constantly working through their actions of body, speech, and mind to justify thoughts. This has nothing to do with justifying thoughts. The context of this live stream has nothing to do with justifying thoughts. This is specifically a teaching from someone who was a Buddhist monk for 7 years on how to not justify thoughts, period. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is about. It doesn't matter how much real, true facts have gone into the thought. It doesn't matter how you've had real life experiences that relate to the thought. This is a teaching on not justifying thoughts. This is a teaching on not perpetuating thinking. This is a teaching on not thinking. This is a teaching on stopping thought, stopping thoughts. It doesn't matter how you justify it. It doesn't matter what thoughts you add on to other thoughts to pick up or to hold on to that one particular thought. This is not about justifying thoughts. This is a teaching on no thoughts, no thinking. This is a teaching on no thinking. It doesn't matter what thought you come up with to pat yourself on the back or to kind of intellectually masturbate. This is not about thoughts. This is specifically a teaching on not thinking. It doesn't matter what thoughts you use to justify whatever thought that you want to hold on to at this time. This is a teaching on not holding on to thoughts. It doesn't matter what the thought is. It does not matter what your thought is here. This is a teaching. This is someone's YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. This is where I give teachings. The teaching here is about not thinking, bringing thoughts down to zero and keeping further thoughts from arising. So it doesn't matter what thoughts you bring here or how you try to justify those thoughts. This is specifically a teaching on stopping thoughts. There's no discussion, there's no debate, there's no thought that you can bring up that's going to change the context of this teaching or the context of this situation. Remember, you're American, right? So you believe in the Fifth Amendment. So you believe in stand your ground, right? So this is my YouTube channel where I teach people how to not think, how to practice not thinking. This is specifically a teaching on bringing whatever thought that you have, all kinds of thoughts are being had, down to zero. You're thinking 500 thoughts a moment, a minute, right? You can't stop thinking. You're thinking all the time. You're thinking about things you don't want to think about. You're thinking in ways that make your blood pressure go up, that make you angry, that make you fearful, that make you in conflict with the people around you. So this is specifically a teaching on not thinking anymore. That's all. That's what this is about. The science of cultivating thoughts, the science of bringing thoughts down to zero and preventing further thoughts from arising. Once again, it doesn't matter what opinion or thought or idea that you bring here. This is about no thinking. The teaching here is on no thinking. So if you're here as a guest. You being here doesn't mean that I am the slave of your mind. I'm not referencing your mind. I'm not asking for you to share your mind. I'm not looking for your determination about what this is. This is a live stream channel where and my name is Dr. Rob, and I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years, where I teach how to stop thinking, how to end thinking, how to bring thinking to zero. Now, I'd like for everyone to help me out with this. I want all of us together to count down together. And once we reach zero, anyone here who is not thinking is going to have to leave. So let's count down together. Are you ready? 10. All together, everybody together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. No. All together, all together. Let's try at the beginning with 10. Once we reach zero, everybody here who's unwilling to not think needs to leave. Let's begin. 10. All together. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's start back again at 10 because there's, I feel like we're not doing this together. So let's try to do this together, okay? Here we go. From the top, starting with 10. You ready? 10, 9. Hold on, I'm getting a call. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Who's this?
Matthew. We talked last.
Matthew in the group home.
Yeah,
What can I do for you, Matthew?
I have some really good news. I got to see my brother last night for the first time for 6 years, and I was just wondering how should I go about overcoming the emotions of joy that I have? How do I overcome the problematic of my mom because she's trying to control him not to tell him not to come see me or let me go see him. I'm stuck. And I just need some guidance.
Whatever it is, just let it be. All right, let's get back to the countdown, everybody. Let's start at 10. Here we go. 10. All together. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All right, friends. Thank you all for joining me here today for our live teachings and sharings. We had a chance together as a community today to listen deeply, to share deeply, um, to be concerned with no more suffering, no excuses, no debate, no discussion, simply no more suffering. And we can bring our hands together for a moment if you feel inspired.
Okay. Be well, everyone. See you again soon.